In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2, showing forbearance to one another in love. In order to walk worthy, we must forgive our enemies and love them. The term forbearance is not often used today and is therefore unfamiliar to many of us. The Greek word translated showing forbearance means suppressing with silence. It carries the idea of throwing a blanket over sin. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8 says, "Love covers a multitude of sins." And Proverbs chapter 10, verse 12 declares, "Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all transgressions." A forbearing person doesn't trumpet other people's sins, but rather forgives them. Forbearance has room for the failures of others. A forbearing person also loves people in spite of the wrongs they might have done to him. Agape, the word used for love in this verse, is the love that gives but never takes. It's the kind of love that seeks the highest good for another, no matter what the cost. God showed his agape by giving us his only Son, found in John chapter 3, verse 16. Greater love has no one than this, that one laid down his life for his friends, in chapter 15, verse 13. Agape is unconquerable benevolence and invincible goodness. It is completely selfless. Perhaps the greatest description of forbearing love is the summary Jesus gives in Matthew chapter 5, verse 43 through 45. "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, in order that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. We were God's enemies before he saved us, but he was willing to send his Son anyway," found in Romans chapter 5, verse 10. Since we are God's children, we must also seek our enemies' highest good, whatever is the cost to us. Such cost ought to include more than simply enduring slander and persecution from our enemies. Genuine forbearing love will assume the more difficult task of loving those who hate us. Thank God that he showed forbearing love in sending Christ to die for undeserving sinners. Pray for your enemies and for strength to love them as you should. Besides Christ, the clearest example of forbearing love is Stephen's attitude towards those who stoned him. Read his story in Acts 6 through 7. Read his story in Acts chapter 6 through 7, and note his love towards his executioners. Think about people you have a hard time loving and pray that God will show you specific ways you can show love to them. Then follow through. Amen. God bless you. Until next time.